Hi, this is Charlie with Personal Readiness Education Programs again. We're going to talk about some of the components of Mylar bagging. And there are some things that are very helpful to have, and there's some choices that you can make when it comes to packaging your food for long-term storage. The type of bag that you use is important to the duration of your storage, and I'm going to show you a couple of samples here in a second. Now, a couple of things that you want to have so that you can make nice tight Mylar bagged foods like this are going to be your Mylar bags, at least a clothing iron, if you can, a hot jaw sealer. A postal scale is very helpful. Some sort of a scoop, it doesn't have to be a measuring cup. You're going to need some oxygen absorbers. They usually come packaged in bulk packs like this. We actually break these down into smaller bags like this, and we identify the number that we put in the bag so that we don't have to open up an entire package of these and try to do 50 bags at once if we don't want to. Okay. There's different size bags you can work with. We have smaller bags, which are like this, which are really handy for packing, backpacking, bug out bags, barter supplies, and they have a Ziploc on them, but you still need to seal them with an iron. Okay, we have what's similar to a 1 gallon size bag. We have something similar to a 2 gallon size bag here. And then we have, for those of you that saw our bucket videos, the large bag for 5 gallon buckets. Now, it does make a difference in what kind of bags you get. One of the problems that people get is they order off the internet and they get these nice fancy little shiny bags, which are not really Mylar. They're more of a shiny plastic or a metallized plastic. How do I know that the bags that I'm using are better than the other ones? Well, of course I have a 1000 lumen flashlight handy, and I'm going to show you. Notice here that you should be able to see right through that bag with this bright flashlight. Notice this one that we use, you don't see any light come through there. Okay? What that indicates is a real metallized Mylar bag. Now, we use an industrial strength bag. We don't use those 3.5, 4.3 bags that you see on the internet. So, with that being said, what can I put in my Mylar bags? Well, pretty much anything that's dry goods. You can put spices. You can put popcorn, which is one of our favorites. It's a healthy snack. We use lentils, dark red kidney beans. We use pinto beans, black beans, and of course enriched white rice because it stores for a very long time. Now, if you're going to put something sharp in here, like this is some pasta, some spaghetti that we actually repackaged into a soda bottle, they have sharp edges on them. So when you vacuum these down by use of the oxygen absorber, we have to be careful, especially with the skinny bags, that these pasta corners don't tear holes in your bag and you get a leak. Alright, so if you're going to put pasta or something with a sharp edge, and lentils, by the way, have a sharp edge on them, try to cushion those with something on the inside of the bag. A piece of cheesecloth, paper towel will be fine. If you decide to put something inside of another bag to put in a Mylar bag, do not close the other bag. An example would be, you want to put something inside of a Ziploc sandwich bag and place it inside a Mylar. If you zip the sandwich bag closed, when you go to remove the oxygen, it won't get inside the sandwich bag. So that's important to know. So if you put a plastic bag inside a Mylar bag, leave the inside bag open. Alright, if you're going to use your clothing iron to seal things, there is nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Make sure that you preheat it to its highest heat, and then you're only going to use about a 4-second contact time on these bags. The thicker the bag, the little bit longer time you're going to need. Do a couple of them and you'll get used to it. Now, a straight edge is very handy and helpful. If you've got a carpenter's level, this is helpful. If you have like a soft table or a tablecloth that you don't want to melt with an iron, use one of these or use a piece of 1x2 smooth edge wood. And remind you that these clothing irons often have an automatic shut-off. So when you go to use this, if you leave this sitting here for more than a few minutes and it shuts off, your iron might cool. So you can go with a hot jaw sealer. Now, this is one that's got actually 2 hot jaws on it instead of just one. Some of the hot jaw sealers only have a single heating element on one side. This one has a heating element on both sides. It's black, it's Teflon coated, and it's grooved to give you a nice seal. You'll see that nice kind of seal in this particular bag, if you can see it, as compared to this one that was done with a clothing iron. A clothing iron is going to give you a broad seal, but sometimes, if you're not careful, you can get a wrinkle in the top of these bags, And even though it looks ironed, you might have actually a capillary that you might lose your vacuum on. So when you do this, that's why it's important to have something rigid underneath it and flat so that you get a good seal. A postage scale is very handy for this kind of thing because these 1 gallon bags hold about 5 pounds of dry goods, especially rice and beans, and it's nice to be consistent. Now we know that a serving of rice and a serving of beans is about 8 ounces, so if you know you got a 5-pound bag, well, that's 10 servings, right? So, until next time, this is Charlie with Personal Readiness Education Programs. You can reach us at info@readygoprep.com, or you can just check out our website at www.readygoprep.com.